All right, you guys, welcome to New Agent Training #1. I am so excited to be here today with you guys to give you a little bit of information on understanding your money matters. Now, I love this, right? This information I've literally been teaching. This is my 11th year in the business. And maybe we speak just a little bit differently 11 years later, but everything is pretty much the exact same. It is very, very powerful information. And because a lot of you guys are brand new to the business, maybe you're still trying to figure this thing out. I don't know what I'm supposed to take from this. I'll tell you, just write it down. Write all the notes as fast as you can write because I talk really, really fast. Have as many questions as you need to ask to your trainer. You can feel free to let me know any questions that you have as well, but please hold them to the end so we can get through at least the recording part of this thing for our makeup people. But it really, really is important for you guys to, take it in just to see how it feels for yourself. You'll eventually learn how to be able to present some of these concepts to the people in your life. And then you'll eventually perfect it as you're working with other people and duplicating your trainers in this business. But for right now, for those of you guys who are brand new, just take it all in, right? As fast as you can. Think of whatever questions you have. And what I really want you to think about is your own personal situation as we're going through these concepts. Because for me, again, being a teacher, I thought I was financially okay. It's one of the few industries left that have a proper retirement plan, meaning it has a pension, it has supplemental plans, all of those things. And so I thought I was okay until Los Angeles Unified down here in Southern California, they gave me a $12,000 pay cut. Okay. But they gave me the pay cut 3 months after I bought a house. Okay. So I need you to imagine going from a $900 a month rent to a $1,600 a month mortgage and then taking $1,000 out of your pay per month. Right. So I don't know about you, but I did not have a hefty emergency fund. So me losing $12,000 out of my pay required me to look differently at my financial situation. Right. So a good girlfriend of mine, I was actually talking to her earlier today. Her and her husband have probably been talking to me for maybe 2.5 years. And their whole goal was to get me to slow down long enough to look at the info. For whatever reason, I don't know, I have no clue, but they really wanted me to see the information. But like a lot of people that I've come across in my 11 years in this business, it's not till they're ready, right? Most of you guys on this call, you probably have been invited to this opportunity or to a seminar or to meet with somebody many a times before you decided to say yes. But I ask you to just be open, be really, really open to the information, be open to why you decided to, pay what you paid to come into this company and actually learn a little bit more because it will absolutely change your life. And at the end of the day, after these 6 sessions, if maybe you decide that this business opportunity is not for you, you will absolutely understand that what you've learned is one of the most impactful, times that you've gone through in your life to make sure that your financial situation is better. So at least take that back home to understand that I got to do better by my money. Okay. So I'm going to jump into things here. And again, if you have questions, feel free to throw them in the chat and I will look at my chat and address them as we go through. But I want to make sure we can get through everything that we need to for the recording purposes of this. So I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to go to our topic, which is called Understanding Your Money Matters. Okay, I'm sorry, I do this quite often. I want to stop share real quick. So you guys don't even understand how amazing of a time it is that you guys have shown up to this opportunity. Okay. Again, I said this is my 11th year in this business. And what we have going on right now in partnership with one of the very, very top life insurance companies in the country, it is not something to be slept on. Okay. I came 11 years ago and we were promised the world at that point in time, right? The 2 CEOs who started this company and everything that they've promised for me for the last 11 years, other people prior to me, but for the last 11 years, they've absolutely done. And I really want you to ask the people that invited you to this opportunity, what is she talking about? What do you mean there's a huge opportunity? What do you mean, one of the top 5 insurance companies in the entire country? What do you mean they wanted to partner? Ask the person that invited you because there is a huge, huge opportunity for you guys right now. I don't know if you know, but when things like this happen in the financial industry, millionaires are made over the next couple years. So I'm glad you guys took the opportunity to show up here today, but ask the people that invited you and find out exactly what real opportunity you have for yourself. And again, like I said, I want you guys to think about the entire time we're on this call, which I promise I'm not going to keep you till the full hour. I want you to think to yourself, why did I come here? What is it that I'm looking to change for my own financial situation? And can these people actually help me to achieve that? That's my goal by the end of this call, is that the information that we teach is enough for you to say, if I can just share that with the people that I know, I can truly change the trajectory of my life as well as their lives. Now I'm going to jump back into the slides. Told you I like to go back and forth between the slides, so please bear with me. All right. So understanding your money matters is the presentation topic that we use. And you'll see it again, most of you guys for the very first time today, but the more and more you hear it and have conversations, spend time around the people that you're working with in this business, you'll get so very comfortable with 1, 2, 3, maybe even 5 of these concepts, but they will change the way you think about money, okay? Now, I said I'm a teacher by trade. Teacher by trade means that I believe knowledge is power. Show of hands. How many people think I believe knowledge is power? Let me see. Let me see. Put your hands down. I don't even want to see them. Put them down. Put them down. No, Tanisha's looking at me like I'm crazy. Okay. Knowledge is not power. It's the implementation of the knowledge that is powerful. Okay. So the information that I'm going to give you is only powerful if you apply it to your own financial situation. And I know one of the homework assignments that we have for you guys over the next couple of weeks is to sit down and actually do one of the things that I'm going to go into detail about, the personal financial checkup, so you can actually learn how to implement the strategies in order to do the things that you want to do in life. Okay. So write this down. This is going to be the blueprint of what it is that I'm going to talk about. Okay. Who we are, what we teach, and what we do. Okay. Those are the 3 things that we'll talk about in this time. And if I can throw it to you in a nutshell, okay, what are the things that we do? When I say we the people who have chosen to partner with Senses, the independent marketing organization. Okay. We help people to protect their income. We help people to protect their assets. And we help people to grow money so that they do 3 things: outpace inflation, minimize taxes, and avoid risk. Okay. So let me wrap that to you one more time, because I know you missed a little bit. I told you I talk fast. We help people to do what? Protect their income, protect their assets, and show them how to grow money by doing what? Outpacing inflation, minimizing taxes, and avoiding risk. Okay, so that's the big picture of what I'm going to give you here. All right, so let me jump into it. So who we are, okay? Senses is the company that all of you guys decided to pay a registration / code-in / one-time fee to, okay? And what we are is an independent marketing organization. And I like you to think about it like this, okay? When you decide that you want to go purchase a car, you can go to a couple different options. One of those options is what? I love BMWs. I've had 5 BMWs, okay? You can go to a BMW dealership. BMW is going to sell you what? A BMW. Every single option you have in a BMW. But I'm looking here at Susan and at Felicia and at Malvina. Is a BMW your first choice in a car with your current situation? Just show of hands. Is BMW your first choice of car? No, right? Not good, not bad. It's no disrespect. It's no anything. But for me, it's important that everybody that we work with, they get all of the options that's available to them, not just because Helena loves a BMW. Okay. So being an independent marketing organization, what we are is more like a CarMax. Okay. Or an independent broker. Okay. CarMax allows you to go in there and based on your situation, maybe you have 3 kids at the time. Everybody plays soccer. Right? Maybe you are in retirement and you want your sports car. Maybe you're an empty nester and you want your whatever. It's a nice sedan, right? But depending on your situation, you want to get an opportunity to access what's best for you in your situation. Well, because Census, the company that we chose to partner with, has the opportunity, we're an independent marketing organization. We can help everybody with their particular situation. And we're a big deal, you guys. I love to say this because just last week, one of the top insurance agencies, we're not an insurance agency, you guys. We're not insurance. Don't write me a check for insurance. I'm going to cash it. I'm going to smile. I'm going to say thank you. Okay. But one of the top insurance agencies that are out there, they decided to put equity into us because as an independent marketing organization, we do really, really right by our people. Okay. So independent meaning we can service a lot of people from a lot of different carriers. Okay. And so our job, one of them is to make sure that we are able to connect the people, the folks out there. We act on behalf of the clients and the prospects that we work with to be able to connect them with the financial institutions that are best for their situation. I always like to give this example. When you drive down the freeway, you may see a commercial about retirement from one company or the other. Does that commercial, does that billboard ever motivate you to pick up the phone and say, hey, let me call you and talk about my retirement? No, it doesn't. Right? So what we do as agents that partner with Census, we help connect those people to those carriers, making sure we educate them first, which you'll see more about that education. Okay. It is very important to us. You hear all the time when you're in business, when you're in sales, and yes, we're in sales. At the end of the day, somebody has to like us. Somebody has to like the situation that we're presenting to them in order to do business with us. Okay. Not a bad thing. Everything you have in your life, somebody sold you and you're very happy with it. Very happy with my necklace. I'm very happy with the braids that I have in my hair. Everything that I have, my house, everything is because someone that I liked, that I cared about, that taught me properly, sold me something. Okay. And so for us, it's not about the commission though. It's about the mission. And this company that we've chosen to partner with, Census, they have a very crystal clear mission. 10,000 families need to be educated and properly protected in 2023. That is a mission that you signed up for. Okay. With that mission and being crystal clear in that mission, you have the potential of making a really great commission. But it is the mission first. And the mission is to make sure that families are given the right tools that they need so that they can make the right decisions for themselves. Okay. Now, this is part of what I love, right? I love, and I hope you guys, I know you're brand new, some of you guys, but we have a really big event coming up in just over a month in Las Vegas. It is our annual conference. Okay. I actually joined this business about 1 month before our annual conference in 2012. I came in July. We had our annual conference in August. It was the best opportunity for me to see everything that this company offered because I got a chance to see people that looked like me, didn't look like me, came from the same background, different backgrounds, older, younger, Black, white, Persian, Korean, every different race that was out there. I had an opportunity to see how they took this information and made it better for themselves and their family. And we are a very, very diverse community. Hopefully that motivates you. Hopefully you like that. But that was very, very important to me when I got a chance to see the bigger opportunity that was actually here and the people that I had a chance to work with. Okay. So now, I told you I'm going to teach by trade, right? So this is my favorite part. What is it that we teach? Okay. 3 things. These 3 things can be broken up, and this is what I tell people all the time. A 20-second conversation, a 2-minute conversation, a 2-hour conversation, 2 days, 2 weeks, 2 months, 2 years. Okay. But this is it. This is the nuts and the bolts of what it is that we educate people about. We're not a nonprofit though, so you just can't educate and smile. Business has to be done. But this information is so very powerful to the people that receive it that they want to do business with you. Okay, so let's break that down. 4 steps to creating financial strength, basic financial concepts, okay, and basic insurance concepts. Now, I always like to tell this to people. I'm single, I have no kids, but I carry $5 million of life insurance coverage. So obviously there is way more to life insurance than death. Okay. You know, you ever hear of very wealthy people? I'm not wealthy. I'm trying to get there. Right. But there's a lot of wealthy people when they say, I'm not about to leave them a lot of money in life insurance. No, I want them to work. I want them to do what they need to do to be successful. Okay. If you understand how life insurance helps you build the wealth for yourself and the life for yourself, you'll see exactly why I have that 5 million in coverage. Okay. So this is a very, very, very big piece of what's connected to our mission. What did I say? Our mission is to make sure that we can properly not only educate, but properly plan for 10,000 families in 2023. And I want you to look at this chart, and I want you to see it in a couple different ways. You see, this is one of the things we call the X curve, okay? And the X curve is basically telling you what your life should look like. I said this is my 11th year in this business. This is not typically what our lives look like. But if you have the ideal situation, you are constantly increasing in your assets, and you're constantly decreasing in your liabilities, okay? But let me tell you what really happens in life, okay? And why proper protection is important. See, it says protect your income and your family. And I want somebody to unmute for me. Tell me what you think your biggest asset is. Personally, somebody unmute and tell me, what is your biggest asset? I'll wait.
Myself.
Yeah.
Yourself. What do you mean, Wade, yourself? I'm confused.
Well, I'm the one that's going to work for me, protect me, and I'm going to find myself most important to help everything else around me.
Your income earning ability is everybody's greatest asset, okay? An asset means money in your pocket. The first and most foremost way that you put money in your pocket is yourself, your income. Okay, so that's why it says here, protect your income and your family, right? So if you look at the left side of this chart, that means from 45 over to the left and then 45 over to the right. In the beginning of life, when you have less assets, that's why the blue is at the bottom, and more liabilities, what must you have? Enough protection, okay? If something happens to your income, i.e. you pass away, and you don't have enough protection to cover all the liabilities that you have, and that protection is debt, income replacement, mortgage, and educational expenses, which you'll find more about in section 2, okay? But you have to have enough coverage in protection in case something happens to you while you have more liabilities than assets. Now, here's the part you may not think about, the right side of that chart. Ideally, you would love to always have your assets increasing and your liabilities, but decreasing. But anybody, do you know what the number one hit is to your assets in life? Anybody can unmute and tell me? What's the number one hit to your assets?
Taxes.
Taxes is a huge one. Huge, huge, huge. But even bigger than that, Tony.
Inflation.
Health. Health. And it's not a wrong answer, Susan, not a wrong answer at all, not a wrong answer, Tony. But health is the number one cause. The number one cause of bankruptcy is medical bills. Because what is expected to happen, according to the CDC, right? 1 in every 2.5 people, right? That's 1 in every 2 other pictures besides myself, are expected to be diagnosed with a critical illness. Cancers, heart attacks, stroke, renal failure, okay? And if that's the case, those things on average take anywhere between 8 months to 2 years in order to get yourself just back okay. So what happens when you're no longer working, so you no longer can earn extra income, you're on a fixed income, and then you start having health issues? It deteriorates your assets. So you would think that you have this perfect little X, but what typically happens is this side does what? It goes down with a lot of debt and a lot of bills. And so if you have the right kind of protection that you put in place in the beginning, it's going to last and preserve your wealth throughout the later years in your life, if or if not, you have a health issue, okay? So that's what's very, very important about this X curve, okay? Now, 4 steps to creating your financial strength. And you see, we'll spend most of our energy on step 3 for these next couple parts. But managing your money wisely, that's the basics of finances, okay? Understanding how much you make and how much you spend. I always ask my clients, prospects, agents, everybody, okay? I give them this homework assignment. If I ask you, I'm looking at Felicia. If I ask you how much money you make, you can probably answer that. If I ask you how much money you spend, you can answer part of that. If I ask you how much is rent, how much is mortgage, you in San Leandro, right? In that bougie part over there, right? You're over there, right? Or Palo Alto. You're in the other bougie part. One of the bougie parts up there. You somewhere over there, right? If I ask you how much you spend on mortgage and rent, you can give me the answer. Cell phone, car note, you can give me the answer. But if I say, how much do you spend on food, groceries, entertainment, the kids, Amazon, hanging out, whatever it is, you're going to say, right? So I always try to give people the assignment of printing out 3 months of your bank statement, which I'm telling you guys to do as a precursor to session number 3, which is your personal financial checkup, and understand exactly what it is that you spend. Print out those bank statements. Don't look at an app. Print them out and line by line, itemize every single dollar that you spend. I promise you'll have a rude awakening of why your financial situation is the way that it is. And I'm not saying this to disrespect anybody, but I know everybody is in this company. Everybody partner with Census because they have a financial situation they want to improve on. Don't know how much you have in your bank account. Don't even care, but you're here because you want to improve something, right? And so doing that task is very important. I didn't realize how much I was giving to Starbucks when my Keurig machine can make the exact same coffee that Starbucks makes. Okay. But I had to learn by seeing that on paper to say, is it worth it to spend a couple $100 on Starbucks or put myself on a $50 a month? Get a card, $50 a month. When you get to that 50, you're done. But that's because step 4, I had financial goals. Okay. There are things that I wanted to achieve more than having the best coffee that I wanted in my life. Okay, so we help people to understand that protecting your income and your assets, we already talked about that. We'll go into detail about accumulating assets. But here's a question that I always ask about step 4. I don't know if any of you guys have ever seen the musical Hamilton, but there's a scene in Hamilton. It's a wonderful movie. You got to go watch it. It is wonderful. There's one scene where he says, what is it all for? You work as hard as you work, you save what you save, you put plans into play, you buy your app, you do all the things that you do in life. What is it all for if you can't preserve it for those that you love? Everyone should have a living will and trust. Okay. And if not the actual document of a living will and trust, you should have the 4 pieces that go inside of a living will and trust. And any estate planning attorney can tell you. You need your living will and testament, you need your pour over will, you need your power of attorney, and you need your health decree. Okay. You got to make sure that the things that you're working for, whether you're 41 like myself, 25 like one of my people, 50, 70, it doesn't matter. I have an 80-year-old, soon to be 80-year-old, 81-year-old aunt who's in this business. You've got to protect and preserve your legacy the whole way through. Okay. Let's get into step 3 now, right? This is the fun part. I'm going to tell you guys, I made decent money in my first couple years in this business, and I made it based on one of these concepts and one of these concepts only. Okay. That was the taxes. I'll give you a little hint. But understanding your money matters. Understanding how to accumulate assets and avoid these enemies along the way. What did I say? Outpace inflation, minimize taxes, and avoid risk. Compound interest goes along with one of those things. Okay. What is inflation? You guys, I've been here 11 years. When I first started in this business, we always talked about the average inflation rate is 3% nationwide. We live in California, it's more. However, it's more now everywhere. Anybody can tell me how much it costs in San Leandro or anywhere else for a dozen of eggs? Can anyone tell me?
$8.49. About $10.
Absolutely absurd. I have some teammates in New York and they said they're over $9 for that is almost $1 per egg. That's where we're at, $1 an egg. And I had a friend of mine, you guys got to tell a little side note, friend of mine who is a friend of my sister-in-law, Sissy Pooh, and she had chickens. And I was like, why do you have chickens? Like, what? Not dogs. She had dogs. She had cats. She had chickens. And she was like, because at some point in time, eggs are going to cost too much. And I'm going to need my chickens to hatch these eggs. And I just looked at her and I laughed. This is like 7 years ago. And I'm looking at her like she is winning. She is winning. A dozen eggs for $8.49. That is insane. Now, I don't buy my own groceries. I just don't let somebody else take care of that. But I'm like, $8.49 for 12. That's crazy. But here's the problem, you guys. Last year's number for inflation got up to 9.1%. I don't know about you, but my money is not accruing at 9%. Not all over the place. Nobody is paying me an extra 9% per year. But in order to keep up with inflation, you've got to be able to get in return what it is that your money is costing extra. Okay. Luckily, we're back down to 7%. So we're a little happy, right? 7% is much better, even though most people are not earning an extra 7%. I was looking at someone's statement for their retirement account, and their COLA, cost of living, was 2.4%. Inflation is 7.5. What is an additional 2.4? It's still making you behind by 5%. And there was a meme that I saw on social media, and it had a gentleman that said, 10 years ago, this is what $100 in groceries bought you. And he walked in the house and he had like 10 bags. He was dropping them all over the place. And his kid had to help him pick everything up. And then he said, now, what is $100 of groceries? He didn't even have a bag, you guys. He had milk. He had cereal. He had one other thing. That's it. For his same $100 of groceries. That's the problem, you guys. If you don't have enough, it doesn't matter if you pay off all your debt, but if you don't have enough to supply the necessities on a daily basis in your house, you're still going to be behind. And that's what this reflects here. Okay. So we teach you about compound interest and how important it is to understand this rule. Now, I told you guys I taught, right? I don't know if I told you I taught math. I'm a double math major. I have a BA and I have a master's in math. I taught every single level of math, high school, college, elementary, middle, did instruction, did everything. I've never heard of this rule. Okay. That's a problem to me. We teach numbers, but we don't teach money. This rule simply says, if you take your interest and you divide it into 72, that's how long it takes your money to double. Okay. So I'm not going to look at the numbers that are on this screen. I'm going to say 1%. Okay. Because a lot of us save our money in the bank. That's less than 1%. I know right now CDs are paying a little bit more, maybe like 2-3%, but normally bank accounts pay you less than 1%. What if you had 1 divided into 72? How long does that take your money to double? 72 divided by 1, 72. Who on this call has 72 years to wait before their money doubles? Show of hands. Okay. So I'm not saying banks are bad, but understand what's happening to your money and how to implement the strategy so that you can do what you need to do, one of them being outpace inflation. Here's the biggest thing I want to show you on this chart. 4 and 8 is double. In any world, 4 and 8 is double. So most people would assume that if I double my interest, I'm going to do what? I'm going to double my return. Is that the case? No. 4% produces 40,000 after those doubling periods. 8% produces 160,000. That's 4 times the amount. How important is it for your compound interest for every 1 cent? 1%, I'm sorry. It makes the difference of 10, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars. Because that doubling of the interest rate quadrupled your money because it did what, you guys? It created 2 extra doubling periods. 2 and 2 is 4. Our products, the plans that we are allowed to put in place for people, they average between 7 and 10%. So if you're asking yourself, where do you get 8% from? I've been doing it for 11 years and I meet with my clients every single year and I've seen these products average that percentage. So it does exist out there. Okay. Ooh, taxes. Now, this is my concept, you guys. This is where I was able to generate all of my business for the first 2 years because I was in education. Like I said, I worked for Los Angeles Unified University of Phoenix, had a bunch of jobs inside of the education world. And every single account we used to save for our future was a taxable account. Okay. What I didn't understand is that the $1 that you make has a potential of being taxed 4 times. You earn money, first thing you pay is income tax. You spend money, sales tax. I remember when I got one of my cars, I was driving around to different cities, like, which city do I want to purchase this car in? Because if I get it in Inglewood, California, which is where I live, we're at 11%. I could drive an extra 30 miles and I can get it for 8%. Well, we already discovered that 3% makes a very, very big difference, right? So when you spend your money, that's sales tax, okay? That same dollar that already got taxed, now you spend it, you get taxed. Maybe you say, nope, I don't want to spend it, I want to invest it. Then you have the potential of capital gains tax, okay? Don't let you have money when you pass away, because then you get what? Estate taxes for your family. You don't pay it, you pass away, your family pays it. So that $1 has a chance of being taxed 4 times. So it is, in my opinion, the biggest expense you will have in your life. So I don't remember who it was that said it, but yes, that is one of the biggest enemies that exist out there. So one thing that we help people to understand is, what did I say? It's not the education. Don't care about the education. I care about how you implement it. And so these 3 different timings of taxes make the very, very big difference of how much of your money you can keep in your pocket. Okay. So this concept is all I spoke about in my first 2 years. Maybe yours is inflation. Maybe yours is taxes. Maybe yours is the next one. Maybe yours is protection if you ever get sick with that X curve. I don't know what it is, but everything you want to take in and think of what really resonates with you. So let's talk about these timings. You have your tax now accounts. Okay. So tax now accounts are the ones that when you get the money, you pay taxes. So any income that you receive is taxed, okay? Any income is taxed. Then you decide you want to invest it in, let's say, and this is still in the first category, let's say maybe you want to go to any one of the brokerage accounts, right? And you want to invest your money. Maybe you like cryptocurrency. That's a really big thing right now, right? And you want to invest in these accounts and you earn money. It's already taxed before you put it into that account. It earns money. You get taxed again that year. Okay, so there's a potential of double taxation on your same dollar in that year. Okay, that could be a very inefficient way to save your money. Tax later is where people go when they say, I don't want to pay taxes on my seed. I want to defer my money. I'm going to defer my money. But what happens? Compound interest already showed us that our accounts grow bigger. So you're waiting until your account grows bigger and then you pay taxes. Okay. Then you have your third option, which is tax advantage. Okay. Tax advantage says, I'm going to get my taxes out the way, like option 1, but I'm going to grow it big like option 2. However, this legal loophole, okay, tax code 7702 in this example, allows you to access all of that growth tax-free. Okay. So let me ask you a question. And this is literally the question I asked everybody in my first year. If you had a choice, and post this in the chat for me. If you had a choice, would you want your retirement to be taxable or tax-free? In the chat, taxable or tax-free, how would you want your long-term assets to pay you? Okay, 9 out of 10 people, I only see 1. Sounds great, Tanisha. Thank you. 2 people. Love you, Tony. Most people, if you ask that very simple question, thank you, Renika, are going to say tax-free. That's the simple question that I asked everybody I worked with. Thanks, Ryan. I wanted to know how they wanted their money to be taxed. You guys, I'm not telling you one is the only one you should
tax-free.
use. Tax-free, thank you. But this is the one, you guys, that to me is what diversification means. It doesn't mean one stock versus the other. It means I should have my money spread amongst these 3 different types of vehicles. Some of my money, which is more liquid, I should have in tax now. Maybe some of my money the company will match, should be in tax later. But the bulk of my money, I want tax-free, so I'm going to understand how to use the tax advantage accounts, which is cash value life insurances, and one of the other ones is Roth. Just understand how it works so you can make the best decision for yourself. We said that was our information, or that was the model that we lived by. Okay. Risk, another very, very big deal. Told you guys I'm a math major, right? This concept never made sense in my brain until I saw it right here. And all it does is it explains how losses and pluses were actually working your account. So in this example, $100 investment. So we all start with $100. We lose 50%. That means we now have $50. Okay. But that same 50% return now, right? 50% loss. We see that on the first line. We got a 50% return. Minus 50 plus 50 should make us equal. By the law of math, minus 50 and plus 50 equals 0. But what happens to our dollars? It's actually 25 less. Why? Because your gain was on what? A smaller amount of money. Okay? So when people open their statements, they look and they see, oh my God, I'm an even. Whew, the market did not hurt me. I was minus 50, I'm plus 50, I'm even. No, honey, you're $25 less. Imagine this, Felicia. I see 2 Felicias on my screen. Imagine this, okay? There were 3 zeros behind them. You're not just $25 down, you're $25,000 down. Let's say you had more zeros, 25,000, 250,000. That's what happened to people just in my time of paying attention to money, the early 2000s, Y2K, 9/11, dot-com bubble, 2008 with the housing market crash, 2016 with Brexit, 2020 with COVID, the pandemic. There are so many opportunities for us to lose. And the question is, how long does it take to get back to that number before you gain? Okay, so that's the effective risk. Now, what did I say? Who we are, what we teach, now what we do. None of what I talked about to you guys matters. None. If you do not implement the strategies in order to make your situation be okay. That's the what we do part, okay? And one of the things that I love is that we have found a new approach to helping people with their finances, okay? And we do it by not selling products, but by teaching them those basics, whether it's the basic financial concepts, whether it's the basic insurance concepts, whether it's taking them through the roadmap of the 4 steps, but we help people to accumulate more wealth, okay? Build wealth, protect wealth, preserve wealth. It's part of what we do, right? I've given you guys a couple little, lines worth of stuff, okay? But none of it matters if we don't take you through the personal financial checkup. Personal financial checkup, you guys, is our service. When someone says, what is it that you do? We do personal financial checkups. Yes, we got to educate people first because we want them to make their own decisions for themselves, but we do personal financial checkups. And when you learn how to do that, what it allows us to do for our clients is to access the financial solution. So let me tell you a little bit more about personal financial checkup. What it is it's the opportunity, it's the process to help our people to go back to step 1 of the 4 steps, which is to figure out their financial goals. Okay, because unless you have a crystal clear goal of what you want for your life, you can't make the informed decisions. Here's what most people's goals are, and I want you to think about your own goals. Pay off debt, buy a house, get income property, send kids to college, retire. Those are the main things that people have as financial goals. But because very few people have a plan to actually achieve that, what are they really? They're just dreams. I want more. I want to be better. I want financial stability. No, what does that look like for you and your family? So we help you to make those informed decisions for yourselves. And there is no obligation. There's no cost for people to do personal financial checkups with us. Okay. So here's what happens during the PFC. And I love to give this example. Okay. And I want you to unmute for me. What are one of the 2 reasons that people go to the doctor on an annual basis, and not my oldie but goodies who have been here for more than 6 months, my babies? What are the 1 of 2 reasons that you go to the doctor? Unmute and tell me. We're almost done.
Pap smear.
Pap smear. Pap smear is for what, Felicia?
For a checkup.
Thank you. Everyone goes to the doctor 1 of 2 ways for a checkup. Pap smear checkup, full health checkup. I just scheduled my physical for a month from now before I go to convention because I'm gonna have a good time at convention. But making sure that I have my full physical. Why? Because I want to know that everything is okay. I want preventative. I want to know I'm good. I don't want to be walking around here wondering, oh, am I okay? No, I want to know that I'm good. That is the first reason people come to us for a personal financial checkup. They want to know that they're good. Okay. The second reason, someone else, why people go to the doctors. Not an oldie, a new person. I see y'all getting ready to unmute. Go ahead, my other Felicia. I know she's trying to unmute, but it's okay. Because we know we have a problem. Either we're doing preventative work to see if we have a problem, or we know we have a problem, okay? In our line of work, you guys, how do people find out they have a problem? Because they hear understanding your money matters and they realize that every dollar they have is taxable. Or they understand that they are not outpacing inflation because they're earning 1% in the bank. Or they realize that they don't have enough protection in the place that if they get sick, right? So hearing understanding your money matters is what makes people realize their financial house is out of order. And then they do what? That's when you come to the doctor. Doctor, I have a best friend of mine. He went to the doctor today to get what scheduled? A surgery. His knee is hurting. It's been hurting for a long time. Doc, please do an x-ray. Tell me what I have wrong with me. Something is the problem. Same reason people come to us for a personal financial checkup. And what we do is we help them to look at their entire financial situation only after they understood these money concepts in a very understandable language. I promise you, I have a 3-year-old nephew, my favorite human in the entire world. He can explain to people these basic concepts, even though my baby doesn't speak. He can explain it how he needs to explain it because we keep it very simple and understandable language, you guys. Once people hear this and they think of us exactly like the doctors, I need to fix this, or at least I need to try to fix this, and then they come and sit down with us professionals here at Census. I love this, you guys. I don't have to pressure anybody. I'm not harassing anybody. I'm not hounding anybody. Once people hear the concepts, once people realize that the financial situation that they thought they had for themselves, right? They were planning for retirement. They thought they were going to be able to retire in one city, and now they're not able to. They thought they were going to be able to retire at 55. They can't retire till 75. Right? They find the information through the personal financial checkup and they are wanting to do something different with their situation. Okay. This is the brochure that we use to do that. And these are some questions that I want you to ask for yourself. And I'm not going to go through all of them with you, but I just want you to look at them. Is there a need for what we do? Every single one of you nodded your head, looked at something, and it wasn't because I'm great. I am great, but that's not why you did it. It's because you realize there's a need for what we do. Okay. If you see an opportunity for you to share any piece of this information, inflation, taxes, risk, critical illness, protection of your assets, long-term preservation, going to the doctor to get a financial checkup, any of those things, if it's something that you see you can share with other people, you're in the right place. Is it good for people? Yes. Yes. Because you came here because of one of the concepts. So we know it's good for people. Okay. You know people that could benefit this, and hopefully those are the people that you're going to eventually start setting meetings with for your trainers. And this is the most important, everybody, and I want you to ask yourself this question. With what you're doing right now, today, okay, everything you have going on in life, are you on the path to achieving your financial goals? Most of you will say no, that's why you're here. But that's not enough. Yes, most of us, the answer is no, including me. And I've been here 11 years. I still have things I want to achieve. Okay. If not, what are you willing to do to change that? Okay. Are you one of the folks that's just going to be very, very comfortable where you are? Or are you going to do something different in order to make your financial situation a lot better? You can go ahead, Ms. Jacqueline FD, and stop the recording. I have a time to ask you all, does anybody have any questions, comments, issues, or concerns?